My name is Becky Norton Dunlop, and I work for the Heritage Foundation, a research and education institute based on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. Heritage supports limited constitutional government, the free enterprise system, and individual freedom. Our research looks at challenges facing Americans and how to best solve these challenges. The topic I want to talk with you about right now is near and dear to the heart of every car, SUV, and pickup driver in America. And especially so if you just paid $3.79 a gallon in Northern Virginia, or $4.25 in San Francisco, or even $3.81 in the Midwest. Many of us well remember that the average price per gallon in late 2008 was $1.68 per gallon. Our topic today, gas prices. Are we enjoying these high prices, and what is our government doing to keep them so high? I believe that there are issues that cross party lines. This issue is one of them. Now, I know that Al Gore and the elites, the ruling class in America, have long advocated $5 plus per gallon gasoline. But the rest of us, we average, working, tax-paying, family-raising Americans, college students and retirees, Republicans and Democrats, really do not agree. We want affordable, reliable, and abundant gasoline. Of late, median income families spent 21% of their average after-tax income on energy costs alone. What is so startling about this figure is that it is even higher than the portion of income spent on food in the family household. Here in the nation's capital, every person must pay nearly an additional 42 cents on every gallon of gas purchased. Given the state of the roads in the nation's capital, one must ask, on what are they spending these collected gas tax revenues? Surely not to keep the roads in good repair. Even that number, 42 cents, pales in comparison when other locales in the country add an additional 69 cents to every gallon. But taxes are one way that governments keep gas prices high. Further, the Obama administration has cast its lot with alternative energy, subsidizing companies like Solyndra, Beacon Power, SpectraWatt, Fisker Automotives, and Abound Solar, instead of freeing the entrepreneurial sector to develop energy resources on our vast public lands. Such development could immediately reduce the cost of energy, including gasoline, for American citizens. Instead, the taxpayers lose billions because the Obama administration has paid out so much to the crony capitalists going bankrupt in the alternative energy field of dreams. And the federal government has locked up the vast energy resources on public lands and offshore. We need the feds to free our energy. Further, federal government policy changes must, at the very least, approve the Keystone XL pipeline, repeal the renewable fuel standard, and lift the ban on crude oil exports. The Keystone pipeline, initially validated by the Department of State as environmentally safe, was seen as not only establishing a mutually beneficial economic union between Canada and the United States, but also as a means of potentially lowering the implicit cost of importing oil from overseas. Building this pipeline is good policy and will do no long-term harm to the environment. The Renewable Fuel Standard, RFS, most commonly known as the ethanol mandate, orders that refineries incorporate ethanol into gasoline each year, which would be reaching roughly 36 billion gallons in 2022. Most recently, though, the Congressional Budget Office published a report showing the RFS will increase gas prices by 13 to 26 cents per gallon as soon as 2017. The implementation of the RFS is counterproductive as it negatively affects the refining industry and adds cost to the consumer. Additionally, production of corn for ethanol has raised environmental concerns and a question of proper priorities in the use of crop production for fuel rather than food. One additional action the federal government should take is lifting the ban on crude oil exports. By removing government restrictions, increasing energy supplies in the world market almost ensures that our gas prices will drop. As of late, the fluctuation in gas prices is impacted by international conflicts, including the current situation in the Middle East, Russia's assault on Ukraine, and terrorist activities in Africa. Bad actors propped up with revenue generated from energy needed in the world marketplace. This requires action too. The federal government and President Obama are not leading in the world today. America must regain its leadership position in the world with a sound foreign policy and a domestic energy security policy assuring a more self-sustaining country free from the fickleness of international events. However, though all these measures could aid in decreasing the price of gas and create a more energy secure country, the core and foundational principles related to the use of natural resources to supply gasoline and energy come back to two key ones. People are the most important, precious, and unique resource, and all public policy should be made to the end of improving the lives and well-being of people. And the most successful environmental policies emanate from liberty. So government policy should be consistent with its most cherished principles. Government policy should free Americans to develop our energy resources so that gasoline prices and our tax burden is going down and the health and well-being of our families is improving.